taking what I have left from this Stitched by Amy Tangerine paper pad and other papers from my stash and making 2 junk journals. This is part 1. Stay tuned. Hi everybody, it's Julie and welcome to the Messy Desk. I'm going to be working with this paper pad. I don't have very many pages of it left. It's an Amy Tangerine paper pad, but it does have the cut-aparts. There's that one, there's this calendar one, and this one, and then it has several, and then that one that I can cut apart, and then just some random other pages. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take these papers. So these were out of, I had a stack of papers after I made some other journals that I had left, and I just folded them and they are ready to make journals. So I have 2 of them here that are alike. I have a couple of green scrapbook paper as well. And let's go ahead, and we know that, I'm going to be cutting these out. So that'll be a separate video where we make embellishments. I'll probably cut this up and use it as well. Let's see, we have a map page and a map page. So there's map pages for each one. We have these. We'll go ahead and out those. Okay, so I think we have, do we have 2? If we don't have 2 something, there are some pages that are similar pages. Oh, and we've got this. We can separate those and give each of them some of them. And so that's what I'm going to decorate with. I'm going to use that. So we're going to bust this paper pad. Okay. So we have those. Just pulling out. Whoop. Happy Mail. Happy Mail from Joyce. You'll see that video very soon. Okay. I thought I had more pages that were the same. I guess well, you know what? There's like a couple of kits in my guest room. Okay, we've got these as well that we can cut apart. And we'll have that we can cut apart. So all those can be cut apart. Now let's go ahead and, so we're going to need an inside cover page for each one. And so I'm going to make these 9 by 6, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 9 inches. This is for the cover. Okay, so I'm going to use this leaf on the inside cover. So that gives me those 2 pages. And for the other one, I think we'll just, I really like this stripe though. I like the stripe a lot. And then we'll have, these we'll save. I'm going to cut this stripe in half So it'll be 2 6-inch pieces, one for each of these 2 matching journals. Wow, doesn't quite go all the way to the 12 inches. Okay, so that's going to be for that one. I'm going to start a pile over here for the other one. And I think we'll give each of them, well, I'm going to just cut the thing off here. That's the little tab. We'll also give each of them one of these, the love page. Okay, so still need an inside. Oh, how about this triangle? I think we'll do that. Okay, so this we're going to cut at 9 inches. And just laying it down, 9 inches, 9 by 12 will give me a 9 by 6 journal. Okay, and I'm going to have to find some fabric because I do like fabric on one side. Okay, now clouds. I have clouds for one and the V's for the other one. Okay, so we're going to cut this one at 8.5. Because I don't want upside down clouds on a pocket, you guys. So that's my reasoning here. Okay, and I'm just going to put it in the thing over here. Those are 8.5. And then we'll give the other one this V, the V-shaped page. And it's going to be 8.5. So I'm just cutting out the pages, the scrapbook paper that I want to use in this. Let's see. Then we have this V paper, this triangle paper. I was hoping to be able to use I'm going to use that in the pocket. So I'm going to measure this at 8.5. Okay, measure it down to 8.5. Just going to make a mark so I know where 8.5 is. And then I'm going to come this way and mark it at 10 3/4. Okay? I'm going to cut it as far as I can at 10 3/4 even. Okay? 10 3/4. That way it will be inside even with the crepe. Okay? It'll still be inside. Okay, so then I'm going to take this, I'm going to find my little mark over here, and I'm going to fold this. I'm going to make sure that I'm really, really straight on this margin and fold it out. And then use either your fingernail or a bone folder and fold it. And this one you can go ahead and fold in half also. Okay, because we know that this one is going to get, it's already cut to be folded in half. Those other ones, we're going to probably give it one side straight, and then one side is going to have a flip out. Okay, so there's a pocket. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on this one. So if you remember, we took the side with the lip and put it on the open side. Okay, so we want it, yeah. Okay, so this is the measurement of the page. We want it to measure at 8.5. Little bit of a little mark. Then we're going to cut. We're going to put this at 10 3/4. 10 3/4, not 9 3/4. Nine 3/4. Go all the way up to the top. I'm going to just fold it over both ways, pull it off. Okay, come in. There's this. Fold it together. If I could find the bone folder, I would use it right there, right now. Everything's on top of the bone folders. Oh, this, oh well, we'll use this side. Okay, so this one will go down with the other pile. And this one will go up with this pile. Okay, we're going to do that again for this set. We can go ahead and cut the 10 3/4. And I'm going to mark it at 8.5 for the pocket. Okay, and then on this one, I'm going to put the pocket on the inside, just so they show up in different places. Whoop, sorry about that. Okay, do this one as well. And you can cut these, I mean, however you want. This is how I'm going to do it for this set. And we will have gotten rid of what's left of this stack of paper by the time I'm done with these two journals, which to me is pretty exciting. I'm going to make these, they're going to be less decorated than usual. I actually need to have some journals with me lately. And so okay, so that gives me, oh, I did those backwards. Well, you can just, you get the idea. You're going to turn it around and have it the other way, but I already have them folded. We'll leave them like that. Okay, so we end up with this extra. And I think I'm going to use this cut this one this way 6 inches. I think. Yeah. So they each pile gets one of those. And then we have this here, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut this at 8.5. It's gonna give me these 2 pages. And I'm gonna cut this one at 8.5. These 2 pages, and then I have this. Tell you what, this has this on it. I want one more pocket in this journal, so I'm going to cut this at 10 3/8. It was an odd amount. And mark this one at 8.5. I'm just marking it. Okay. Okay, so this one I did with the pocket on the inside. We're going to do the same thing again. Cut off the ten 3/8. Mark it 8.5. Gotta make sure I'm on the right direction. Okay, 8.5. Fold it down. And fold. At 10 3/8 folded in half, that should also be fine with the creep. The creep is as you put the same size paper inside of each other, it creeps out, and you guys may have seen that when you've been making things. Okay, so I have some ledger paper. I like my numbers to start at 1. This is just how I fold. And then I'm going to cut this strip off. Okay, so this will go inside with this one. And do the same thing here. Oops, did I do that right? Might not have done it right. Oh well, if not, it'll be fine. It'll be just a little different than that. So, with your number 1 on the outside, you guys. I don't know if I did that right or not. So I'm gonna put that. I did it right. There it is. Okay, so there's that and there's that. And we have all these strips that we can use. And so that is cutting. Now let's get an idea of what we have in our stack. Okay, so I have 2 of the pages from the inside a composition book that I've taken apart. I know that they're probably too long. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cut them down so that they're the right fit. And I'm going to make them 8.5. And there we go. Okay. Now they're also going to be too long this way. And I'm going to go in just under 5.5. Okay, and that's going to give me notebook size strips, and that's going to give me lined paper for my journal. Okay, next we have the ledger paper. We've already cut that. We have this piece of newsprint. I have the instructions from the carts that I bought, and I've already cut those down. I have there should only be one of these in here, I think. Okay, but it's a mini ledger, and here we have a coloring book, coloring page from a calendar. Okay, so that gives me another pocket. I like pockets in my journals. So this is the graph paper from my dad's stash. We have an Ivy computer paper folded up, and then we have one folded side to side. Then we also have some yellow paper, and let's check this and make sure that we're under. It's right at 5.5. I'm going to cut just a little bit off, just so I don't have to go back and cut it. It's already done. Let's check our measurement here. We're at 8.5. Perfect. We have graph paper from a graph paper it's a graph composition book. We have a guest book page folded in half. We have some off-white cardstock. We have some of this just really cool paper and a yellow envelope. I don't think we need the yellow envelope after all. I'm going to save that for Halloween because look, it looks like candy corn. Okay. So those are my regular papers. And then I also have all the scrapbook papers. So plain, small, lined, decorative, folded, decorative, folded, small, decorative, plain, small. I'm going to put it colored, and folded, and take these apart from each other, lined. So we'll put these all together. This might be too many papers too. Might have too many going on here. Okay. Now, with this, I'm going to use a, let's see, this will be my, my template, okay? So this needs to be inside the size of that. Okay, so there's that. And I'm going to fold the one on the other side at the same time so that okay, just so that they're alike. So this would be a great way if you need a journal for yourself and you just want to have one in your stash for a gift. This might be a great way to get one made. Okay. This, I think we had it so that it could just be, oh no, this one is supposed to get a good fold, you know, and so we're going to fold it to right about there. There we go. And then we're also going to give this one, it's either going to be a flip out or a tuck. Okay, so it could be a flip out or a border tuck. Okay, so do the same thing over here. Fold it. Just mark it. Do the old thumbnail marking. Okay. Fold it and then fold it for the border tuck. Okay. Oh, this one goes down here. Okay. So next, I know from this one, I'm going to want my inside pocket. And so it needs to be less than 8.5. Let's see what we get left with 7. That'll give us 2, yeah. Okay, so we're going to cut that at 7. Then I'm going to come in and let's cut an inch and a half off of that here. Okay, why an inch and a half? Well, with an inch and a half, I can use my Hobby Lobby punch and punch out the pretty edge. Okay. Okay, so then I'm going to take, so I've cut the inch and a half, I've cut it at 7 inches, cut the inch and a half off. Then I'm going to put this in at edge to edge at the angles. And this is going to give me a top tuck pocket, see the hearts in the right shape, and a bottom tuck for the front cover. So that's for those. And then we're going to have, we'll have 6 inches left. We'll do 2 3-inch. No, I want 2.5 inch because I want to be able to use that punch. So we're going to cut this at 2.5 inches. And I'll get a tag, 2.5 inches, another tag, and then that. Okay, so we'll do this again, cutting at 7 inches. cutting at 1.5. Edge to edge corner cut. Gives me that corner for the front pocket and a top tuck for somewhere else in the journal. Two and a half ish. Oops. It's okay. 2.5. Two and a half, and the little piece that we can use for decorating. Okay, so 2.5, 2.5, and the little piece. I'm gonna set that inside here so that those pieces don't get lost. Okay. So next we have a folded. We're gonna save this one. Okay, how big are we? We are 12 inches. I'm gonna pull this one in 12, so 9.5, and that'll give me, okay, and then just fold this in half. It'll be a little smaller than the other pages. That's okay. And then this'll can be a can either be 2 tags or anyway, it'll be something. Okay, so now we have our, oh, need to cut that, do the other. So on you, it's a cloud. And so we're keeping that. Nine and a half gives us 2.5. And a fold. Okay, so those are the two papers that were sort of similar for the two different journals. Okay. So next we have the love. And okay, we're going to go ahead and fold it. And fold it. Now this is, sometimes I'll use this as the center and it becomes a clasp, and then the center can have something else in it. I don't know if I'll do that this time, but there you go. But that's how I do that. Make it like an envelope. Let's just mark it. Make sure that we're less than the usual pages. Checking to make sure we're still. And these might end up on opposite ends, but that's okay. Because I did that one with it on that side and I did this one with it on this side. That's okay. They'll be similar, but different. Okay, so next we have this 6-inch. And I think this time we'll go ahead and we're going to cut this at the 9.5. that will give us this tag, and fold it in half. Straight. Okay, so same for the one for the other journal. Gets a tag and a folded. Okay, so next we have this one. It's okay, it's the inside cover. So that's our inside cover. And so let's go ahead and put together what we've got. So this is going to be our inside cover. And we'll work on the cover in a little bit. Now you want to pick a page for your inside page, kind of like this for my inside page. Remember, you're going to have the heart is going to be here. So this is going to be my inside cover. And then I think I'm going to want a pocket. But I do want some some green. So then I just go ahead and I'll start adding our pieces. And go from there. Kind of from each set of each pile. Remember, we kind of had piles at one point. And just keep putting them in. Still just adding pages in, pages in. And don't forget, you can go back and add into the spots. Okay, like we have these little ones. Make sure, if you want to, that your orientation is correct. Obviously these numbers are not going to be in the right orientation, but that's okay. Okay, what do we have? This is going to end up being a little chunky. But that's okay. It's okay. You can take pages out if you want to. Or not add pages. I'm going to keep these out. Those are kind of look a little... Okay, so we're going to want a and remember, we have all those cut-aparts that we can use as well. I might want my numbers in order. Might not. There we go. Okay, this ends up being kind of big for the center, so I'm going to put it on, bring it back to this edge. Okay. So how many pages do we end up with? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, so we have 22 pages here. So that'll give you 88 pages, large and small. I think I really like this. I think it's going to go really well with what we have to put in it. So, yeah, so we didn't use these 4. So I'm going to put them aside for my next journal. And go ahead and fold up the other one. And so that is how I folded a signature. And using items from my stash. This is going to be the, let's see, what's this paper pad called? Stitched. So we're going to call this Stitched Part 1. 2 Stitched Journals Part 1. And if you want to see how I made a journal in an hour, I'll put that in the description box below. Find something to celebrate every day. Happy stash busting. Bye.